Hey everyone, this is Daryl, aka The D, from the Simply Incredible podcast, and today we're going over UFC 194. For people who don't know, I'm a mixed martial art black belt and been training since 2000. Well, the last few years not so much since I had a kidney transplant, so I can't take that full contact anymore. So you can see it put on a little weight. But anyway, what we're doing is, I love my UFC, been watching it since at least 2000, probably a little before that in the late 90s. And we'll start off with some of the undercard fights, with two of them in particular. Tisha Torres against Jocelyn Jones-Lybarger. Good match, good fight. These young ladies, they really went out there and they put out a really good fight. Torres won a unanimous decision, and really in the mid of the second round through the third round, she really dominated this fight. I see big thanks to her. She really she had a great fight. And her hands really good. I can see, again, big things coming from her. In the next preliminary, we had Uriah Faber, so many people's favorite, such a big name in the sport, against Frankie Ciaz. I'm sure I'm mispronouncing his last name. It was, to me, it was a back and forth, but it was kind of weird. Uriah Faber had a unanimous decision. I saw him winning 2 out of 3 rounds, but could have been. And one of the judges had it 30-27, the other two 29-28, which is what I would have given it. But Faber is a guy that I see. He keeps coming back. He's a great fighter, big name in the sport. He has a good look for the sport. He's been there for a long time. He was in the strike force, dominated, and was a champ for a long time there. When they merged, he come over to the UFC, and he hasn't been able to get over that hump and get the title. He's had a few shots at it, has not been able to get there. And if he stays on that winning streak, I see him having another shot at it. And tell you what, he's a guy that puts butts in the seats, and he's a good fighter. I would like to see him have another shot, but he's had quite a few. But we'll see where he goes. I would not be surprised in the next year or two if he keeps winning, have another shot. Next one, Max Holloway against Jeremy Stephens. Good fight. Holloway won by decision. It was a really good fight. Lot of good action, good striking. Had some grappling in it. Good stuff. Holloway wins that. That puts him on an 8-fight win streak, and that's a long streak in the UFC and fighting. And that's a long streak. And I could totally see him, keep stepping up. Maybe get up there before long. Maybe have a title shot for himself if he keeps that streak going. Good stuff. One of my favorite grapplers, and it is Danny Maia. He went against Gunnar Nelson. And I'll tell you what, Maia just thoroughly dominated this fight. It was a decision, but his grappling skills just thoroughly dominated. I haven't seen, he could not finish it. And that upset me a little bit because he's a guy that's so good. But, I mean, again, his jiu-jitsu just complete domination in this match. Such a great fight. This one is one I was really looking for. Jacare Souza against Yael Romero. Souza is a guy that, again, a strike force guy. I remember him, and he was dominating. Such a great fighter. Coming over to UFC, he's done well. Hasn't quite got that level yet. And Jacare ended up losing. And he lost by decision. Romero really, the first round, I mean, I really thought he had pretty much knocked out Souza with his excuse me, with a spinning back fist. I mean, it just leveled. It really just leveled Souza. It was just a strong punch. Romero, an Olympic wrestler. I mean, and he was really doing great. Second round, excuse me, I could see where people were going back and forth on this one because the people I was with. We were back and forth on the second round. I had it going for Romero. One of the guys had it for Souza. One of the guys, he's like, I'm not sure. It was too tight. I could really see Romero starting to he looked like he was getting tired. And Souza, he had that look of trying to just kind of get his wits back from that first round where he took quite a lot of punishment. The third round, it was all Souza. So to me, it all went to the second round, and they gave the second round to Romero. Like I said, I thought he won the second round, but I could totally see people looking at it going either way. Great fight. Romero, he's so muscular, and what I've always said about really big muscular guys if the fight doesn't end soon, they start getting tired because it takes a lot of oxygen to really keep those muscles going. So, but again, really good fight. And now to the two heavyweight, to the two title matches. Light heavyweight division: Luke Rockhold against Chris Weidman. This is one I was really looking forward to. The last two fights were, I think everyone was looking forward to. And the other one, Conor McGregor against Jose Aldo, excuse me. And the two fights, wow, Rockhold really put on a good fight. In this fight, into the second round, it was really even. It was really back and forth. Um, and the second round, for some reason, Weidman went for a spinning sidekick. I don't know why. And later on, he said, after the fight, he said, "Yeah, that was a mistake. I really shouldn't have done that." And he really missed. And when he did, Rockhold got his back, took him down, and laid a wicked ground and pound on him. To be honest, it should have ended then. It really should have. I mean, Weidman was really bleeding. Just, I mean, when the round ended, he had blood just pouring out of his face, and they let it go, and it ended really quick in the third round. And it really looked like, for me, and I was telling the guys when they were going in, it looked like Weidman wasn't quite in that top physical shape that he usually is for fights. He wasn't. He didn't look like he was quite there. He looked like he wasn't, almost like he wasn't prepared for it. And Weidman's a guy I really like. He's a really good, humble guy. I really like him. And I hope he gets back. I really do, because I think he's a good guy for the sport. But Rockhold, again, he's a tough guy. Really great fighter. He got a little chip on his shoulder. Some people like that. I'm not real big on the cocky, arrogant, like McGregor. But he just put on a show, and it was quite a good fight. But on the flip side, I always like seeing new people at the top, other people coming up. I don't like seeing someone that's been there for years, even though I did like Silva. But Silva and George St. Pierre, love those guys. But it's nice sometimes to see new blood at the top. And in the last fight, Conor McGregor, and for the featherweight champ, Conor McGregor against Jose Aldo. This fight, I've been really looking forward to this. The build up was huge. McGregor, it's like the two mindsets on the two, like they're so different. And but McGregor, he's tough guy. He backs up what he says, and he called for. I'd heard this. I didn't know this. One of my guys told me that he had said his will get a knockout in the first round, which I thought that's crazy. He knocked Aldo out in 13 seconds, and I was just wow. But it was a funny. He threw a hook, knocked him out almost on his feet, but Aldo was also throwing a punch at the same time, and it's one of those things that it could have almost been a double knockout because they nailed each other. And Aldo went down, and McGregor come down with a couple powerful hammer fists, and it was over. It was over. That was a really good stoppage because he was done. But I hope they get I'm one that hope they get a quick rematch, because 13 seconds, that's too quick to really say this guy was thoroughly dominant over this guy. And Rousey versus Holly Holmes, that was a couple rounds where Holly Holmes just thoroughly dominated the whole time. That's one I don't think they should get an immediate rematch. And some do, some don't. I can understand either way. You know, a champ that's been a champ for a while, I can see them that they've earned that, title shot. Some people don't think so. I kind of think they do. But I think it was a good card. I mean, well, I think the card itself going into it, the hype for it, I think it should have that much hype because it's a lot of good fights on that card. Did it live up to that hype? Not quite, because 13-second knockout, that that doesn't leave a lot of excitement there. I mean, let me rephrase it. When it happens, the excitement is there, but it's just like, I wish I had more. But that McGregor, he's the real deal. He is definitely the real deal, and he's got that chip on his shoulder that he'll tell you, I'm gonna beat you, and then he goes out and does it. So he's a tough guy, and I could totally see him being king of the hill for a long time to come. But Rockhold, I can see him being a new champ tonight also. Tough guy as well. I could see him being a champ for a while. But with his fight game, I could also see someone coming in, taking him out. But that division is built up for a lot of different people. McGregor, I don't see anybody ready for him yet. But good night of fights. Good night of hanging out with your friends. Check out more reviews tomorrow. I'm going to be actually watching the WWE pay-per-view, TLC. Should be fun. I'll be reviewing that. And check out my videos, all kinds of stuff, podcasts, all kinds of stuff. And just check us out, subscribe, tell us what you like, what you don't like. You guys have an incredible night.